Hey, Ellie, first of all, great to meet you. Thanks for joining me on the podcast.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you too.
So let's just go to the end. How was your trip to Maryland? I know it didn't end the way you wanted, but you guys a well-deserved trip there.
Yeah, I mean, it's always awesome to go to an NCAA tournament, especially somewhere like Salisbury where you know you're going to be playing a really competitive team. Throughout the season, you're looking forward to being in the MASCAC tournament and then winning the MASCAC, going to an NCAA regional. It's a really cool experience.
You guys had a awesome run in softball, baseball, got the host, but three wins, convincing wins. Is it hard when you play a team though, like back to back? I know you guys do it a lot anyways with double headers, but in the playoff atmosphere, is it tougher?
Um, I mean, it kind of depends. I think this season it made it a little bit easier just because we knew what to expect. And in years past too, like you know what to expect when you're walking in there and playing Bridgewater, say for I don't know how many times we ended up playing them, like maybe four times.
Yeah.
But it makes it easy for me at least because I know the batters and I know what pitches I need to throw and like what pitches they don't really hit well, I guess.
Yeah.
So for me, it makes it a little bit easier, but it can definitely make it harder because they also know us too. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great debate. And for those that don't know, 3 years you've been a pitcher, outstanding, great year this year. But who has the ultimate advantage? Would you say as a pitcher you do over the batter, or if the batter sees you more? I mean, or is it
I don't
fifty
know.
fifty?
I feel like it might depend on the day because if I'm
Yeah,
having an off day or if the pitcher's having an off day, then obviously the batter's going to have the advantage. But it really depends, I feel like.
there is a lot of gray in softball, right? It can't be
Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah.
Well, terrific, end there. But so does it take you a few days to kind of get over the season? I know there's got to be a couple of emotions. There is that obviously it's over. I know it's a grind. So there is that.
Yeah.
I'm happy it's over, but I'm sure that it's sad as well.
Yeah. I mean, going at it pretty much every day for since mid-January, it's weird that it's over just because I don't know, like the past couple days I haven't really had anything to do, so I'm
Yeah.
just like sitting around. But I mean, it's definitely nice to have a break also. I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. That's normal. I mean, I know in the baseball world that it's nice when that's all over. It's fun watching all you guys together. You can tell it's a pretty tight group. I mean, you've been there 3 years, but you can just tell when you're at a game.
Yeah, yeah.
How does that all happen? Is it just organically?
I mean, when you're on the team, you end up spending so much time together, so it kind of just happens naturally. But also this year specifically, we had a smaller group of girls, so I feel like this year specifically, we were able to get to know each other better. And even the trip to Florida, what that helps too, because we were all living in one house, so we
Yeah.
spent pretty much the entire trip together the whole time. You get to learn a lot about people, and we all just ended up getting along really well.
What's that like when you that must be fun when you get to go to Florida, right? Right, March,
Yeah,
especially growing up in New England, that the weather
yeah.
usually is not that great.
Yeah, Florida is really fun. It's just kicks off our season and we get to come back here and then play our games.
Okay, I want to go back to how you ended up at Framingham State. How does that all work? I know you're from Wilmington and you played there, and how did that all work out?
So I was recruited obviously for softball and um I guess the reason why I decided to choose Framingham was one because like the location, it was close enough but also far enough from home. I love the area, like Route 9, there's
Yep.
anything and everything you could ever want to do. I also, when I was being recruited, coach invited me for an overnight stay. So I stayed with Camille actually. And I just fell in love with like the school and we hung out with probably half the team or something like that. And they were just super welcoming and I liked the coaches also. So I just knew this was going to be the right fit for me.
Yeah, there's some kind of charm to the school up on the hill and where you guys are in Maple Fields. And I notice it because I walk around a lot when everybody's gone, and there is a charm to the school even when it's empty. It's a beautiful campus even when there's no one around.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how, that's tough to capture. Is it easy because things are closer and you're not going you don't have to go that far to walk?
Yeah, I mean, that was ideal for me too, like the school size and the classroom sizes. Um, and just the fact that, yeah, you could walk 5 minutes to your class. You don't have to wake up super early. That was nice too.
Yeah, that's a benefit. So, psychology, how did that all come about for your major?
I actually came in as a biology major, but then I switched over to psych. I just found that I enjoyed psych more. I didn't really enjoy my bio classes as much as I thought I was going to, and I was taking a psych class as an elective, and I just liked it a lot, so I switched my major.
And as you told me right before we got on here, you have a great internship for this summer. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm working at a school with children with developmental disabilities, mostly autism. I'm just trying it out, to be honest. I'm not exactly sure if that's something that I want to go into and do for a career, but I figured that it's something that I could try. And even with that too, there are occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech language pathologists, a bunch of different people in the school. So it's going to give me an opportunity to be exposed to a lot of different fields.
What else do you have planned for the summer? Do you work or do you do any kind of coaching
Um,
or
I think that's going to take up most of my summer.
yeah,
It is paid, luckily, so
nice.
I'll have a little bit of income. But yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't really thought it out.
Now, what's your routine like? Do you just shut it down for a while in terms of throwing?
Um, I mean, it depends. I don't really have a set schedule for myself in the summer. I don't play really. Like I'll just go out there, maybe ask my dad or something if he wants to go throw or go hit. Like he's always willing to do that with me, even now that I'm 22 years old. But also I live in an off-campus apartment in Framingham with a couple teammates, so I can always just grab one of them and say, "Hey, want to go to the field?" Because we live 5 minutes away, so
Yeah.
it's really convenient.
So do the other girls play any kind of games in the summer or is it just are you not allowed to?
Not affiliated with Framingham, but there's a couple girls I think that still play for like their travel organizations. They'll like throw
Okay.
together a couple tournaments or something.
And that's all yeah, I know that there's rules around,
Yeah, that's all
games.
outside of Framingham.
Yeah. How did you kind of find pitching? Did that start when you were 12, 13?
Um, I started a little bit later, I feel like, than everyone else normally would have. Not like super late, but I didn't really think about pitching at first. I was just watching college softball on TV with my dad one day, and I saw them pitching, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." So then we just went out in the yard, started throwing, and then I guess my parents were like, "Oh, this could kind of turn into something." So they just found a pitching coach and just went from there.
Wow. Do you ever replicate your delivery right away, or is that something that took a while to do that?
It took a while.
Yeah.
I I was a bigger kid, so I could always throw a little bit harder than some of the other girls in my age group.
Hmm.
But I was not accurate at all when I first started, so that's why we needed the pitching coach to kind of like figure out how to dial it in there. But that's how it kind of started.
Yeah. I think pitching's fascinating and what's great about softball is that you can pitch more. I mean, I think that's such a great thing
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
Uh, how do you feel in between game? I mean, you can almost pitch back to back days, right?
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, in the beginning of the season versus the end of the season, it's a little different because obviously like it's just doing it every day. But
Yeah.
I mean, I can throw like I don't know. It's different than baseball. Like softball, you can just grind through it and throw and throw and throw
Yeah.
until your arm's about to fall off.
Yeah, it's great. And then just the change of pace too when you throw in one of those change ups or
Yeah.
lob pitches, whatever they call it. Yeah. Um, so what does it feel like to be near the end? I know that's got to be kind of weird for you.
Well, I'm very thankful that I'm able to come back because technically this would have been my last season, but I extended my undergrad to be able
Nice.
to do another year, and I'm very fortunate for that. It's pretty sad. I mean, considering Camille, Zoe, and Keely are leaving. I came in with Zoe and Keely, so watching them graduate, watching them play their last game in their senior day, it was a
Yeah.
little bittersweet, but I'm excited that I'm able to come back and do another year. I'm gonna be really sad when it's over, but I mean, it has to end at some point. And throughout the 3, 4 years that I've been here, we've been really successful. So that's also very rewarding.
I was going to say it's really been built into a unbelievable program that I'm sure for recruits, they kind of just see what you guys have been doing. And I'm not saying it makes it easier, but it's nice what the program has really evolved to, and all of you are a big part of it. So
Mhm.
you should be proud of that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
What would do you think you would keep playing after or coach? What do you want to stay around in softball, or is that way too
Um,
far down the road to think
I
about?
mean, I definitely would still love to be involved. I'm not really sure if I would coach necessarily. I mean, there's always like the slow pitch leagues and stuff just for fun. I know some alumni that actually do play in slow pitch leagues and they love it. So if it's even just that, I would love to say involved in softball in any way that I can.
Well, that's great. Thanks for joining us, and go Rams. Another great year.
Of course. Thanks for having me.